Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into the Amazon tool deals and checking out some of the tools that I've found for this week. These are either going to be tools that are on sale, tools that even at their full price or list price I believe to be good deals, or tools I find interesting and would like your guys' input on them. All of these items that we go over today will have their own independent link down in the description for you guys, so you guys can easily find that. I'll also have two additional links that state tools and tools continued. Those are going to be links that take you to a long list of tools that I've went over in the past or other tools that I suggest, so that's all down in the description for you guys. So first up, we were looking at an Urban Transit Fastback shop stool, and I've owned this for, I don't know, 6 years maybe, and it is a fantastic shop stool. It's not adjustable in height like some, but if you're looking for a stationary height stool, this thing has very, very good wheels on it. Now keep in mind, when I purchased it, it was from Mechanic. From my understanding, Mechanic is no longer around, and they switched to Urban Transit. You can still kind of find some of their work lights and stuff like that, but as far as these shop stools, you won't find it sold by Mechanic. It's now all Urban Transit. It's just, I think, just transition. Like, even if you go to the Mechanic site and click on a product, it just takes you to the Urban Transit. So that's when I came across this and couldn't find any of the Mechanic stuff. And while some of their stools, like I have their detailing stool, it is quite expensive. I'm talking like $200, if not more. So they do have some pretty expensive ones, but this one, I think at $90, even though this isn't on sale, just knowing that I've had this shop stool for, you know, a while, and it rolls very well. The casters on it are rubberized, and they roll very well compared to any other shop stool that I've ever owned. It's one of the smoothest ones. Now, they do have ones with built-in drawers, as well as adjustable height as well. So they do have those, but once again, they don't sell the cheapest shop stools. But I got sick and tired of the hydraulic shop stool that I had and hitting every minuscule little half rock and almost chewing on concrete. This does a much better job of rolling on asphalt, and, you know, if you're in your driveway, things like that, it just rolls much better. It goes the direction I want it to. The tray is nice. It does have a little built-in socket holder in the bottom, which is kind of gimmicky. I tried to fit, you know, a set in there, and it started out well, and then sometimes the sockets, just depending on the brand, don't fit in the hole the greatest. It does have a can holder, whether you're putting lubricants, paint, or your drink there. That's nice. And then you kind of got an open area for your tools. I think they could probably just get rid of that little socket organizer, because a full set like that, it's not very common to fit that in there. Maybe a smaller 1/4 inch set, but yeah, that's probably about the only part of the stool that I don't really care for. This does have a 350-pound capacity. That's the other thing. The seat on top, it's a good material. It's not a cheap material, and the cushion is actually pretty dang comfortable for a shop stool with the premium 3-inch Pro Glide casters. Overall, I think it's a fantastic seat. Not the cheapest out there, but a good one for sure. If you guys know one that is really good quality for maybe a little bit better price, please feel free to drop it down in the comments. This has 4.7 stars at 130 ratings. Next up is a product from Astro Tools. This is the world's first high flow 3-way air swivel. Basically, it doesn't have to be Astro, but if you still run pneumatic tools or air tools, and you get sick and tired of, maybe you're not just doing wheels where you're just holding your impact, you know, straight on. If you ever work above your head or at an angle, fighting the air hose can be extremely irritating, whether your hose is mounted to the ceiling or you're pulling it across the floor. Depending on how you have your tool angled, whether you're using, you know, a die grinder or a cutoff wheel or an impact or a ratchet, any air tool, when you have it at a certain angle, worrying about that air hose can be extremely irritating. And just fittings like this can make the tool so much more free, and you're not binding up and getting caught and fighting the hose. This one is at $17, down from just under $20, so not a whole lot of savings. It does have 4.6 stars at 112 ratings. Like it says, it is a high flow one, so it's not, you know, as restrictive as some of the others. Here you can read some of the information if you would like to pause, read that. 175 psi max pressure, It is made of aluminum. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of information on it. But as you can see, there are other styles available. Here you can see some, at least I know Astro as a brand. Granted, you get 2 of them here for basically the same price and 4 of them here. I would rather have the high flow one from a brand that I know, unless I can find a brand that sells it cheaper. May possibly be the same thing, just an unknown brand. But I'm basically just mentioning this as a fantastic addition to anybody that uses air tools that is sick and tired of fighting their air hose, basically. Next up is a battery cable, or a lug kit, basically. I use lugs constantly. Every vehicle I own, I'm constantly doing upgrades, whether that be cosmetic or electrical or whatever. I'm constantly building wiring harnesses, so I use small connectors, and then I do a lot of stereo installs. I used to do a lot more, not as many anymore, but these lugs can be fantastic for any, positive and negative, whether you're doing a sound system or like I installed an inverter in the bed of my truck and I had to run 0 gauge or whatnot all the way from the rear of the truck to the front. You need larger lugs instead of just your standard terminal crimps. And then like I'm installing a winch, which is going to require the lugs. And I used to just buy a pack of like 5 lugs or 6 lugs, and then I'd use them for a project, and then I'd start a new project and I'd be like, oh, I need my lugs. I got a couple of those. Well, then I'd, come up short on how many I need. So I decided to just get a larger kit, because not only does this include all of the sizes that I would need, because I already have all of my smaller terminal ends and stuff, but this includes various different sizes of lugs. And I'll show you, it's got 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. Different diameters as well for, whatever you're mounting this to, whether that be a battery or the load itself. And then it also includes a bunch of heat shrink in both red for positive and black for negative. Here you can see exactly what's included and the diameter. Quite a decent selection there. And they are manufactured of pure copper. At least that's what it states. Some of the brands out there can be tricky. Some of them are copper-clad aluminum, and then some of them are tinned aluminum, which they also have their place as well, just depending on what you're using this on. But I figured for $65, this is a good price. It has a list price of $100. It doesn't ever sell for that. Here you can get the tin copper one for the same price. And then they also have other size sets. Here's a 60-piece set for $25. It doesn't include any heat shrink or anything like that, but they do have a 76-piece for $24. So if you're not one that uses these all the time, you could get a smaller one like this for just over $20, which isn't a bad deal at all. For 220 pieces, you can get it for $65. I just thought that was a really good deal. All of these little sets seem to be priced very well for the amount of lugs that you're getting. This has 4.7 stars at 978 ratings. And then last up, we were looking at a set of Southwire wire strippers, and these are going to be running just under $11 from a list price of $16.20. These are made in the USA, and I've owned these for many, many years as well. I have a couple different styles. This is just the stripper version. They do have a crimper as well, crimper and cutter. This one is $28, and then they have their lineman pliers with a crimper at the base for $35, and then they have their other set of wire strippers for $15.38. But this one is on sale for just under $11, and all of the products I just showed you are made in the USA. And the Southwire USA made stuff that I've used, I've been very pleased with, and these strippers work very well. They cut like butter, and I've been very, very happy with them. They are spring loaded. You can remove the spring if you don't like that. They do have a spring lock to lock them closed, and then you also have your teeth up top. It's kind of your more generic or your more common style for a wire stripper with the serrated nose. Here you can see it's good for 10 to 20 gauge solid and 12 to 22 gauge of stranded. There are the dimensions of it, but overall, like I said, I've had them for many years. They've performed very well, and I think they're a very affordable set for being made in the USA. So this one has 4.6 stars at 601 ratings, And that is it as far as this week's Amazon tool deals. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, all of these products are linked down in the description, as well as those 2 additional links that take you to a long list of tools that I suggest. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.